back just about 10:14, and this year Seattle residents use more rideshare scooters than ever before. More than 8 million shared scooter and bike rides. They happened in the first 10 months of this year. Last year, there were 6.3 million total. So 2 weeks ago, the single-day ridership record was set with more than 58,000 trips in just one day. But this means scooter injuries in our city are at an all-time high. ER visits involving scooters have nearly doubled from a year ago. And joining us now is Dr. Beth Ebel, physician at UW and Seattle Children's Hospital. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, well, let's jump right into this, Doc. Your research interests include injury prevention and traffic safety. To put it bluntly, why are scooters and injuries up so much?
We saw almost a 40% increase from the year before to last year. And I take care of the most seriously injured kids at Harborview. Last week, I had 3 kids in the hospital, 2 of them with intensive care injuries and serious brain injuries. So we're seeing a huge increase, especially among young riders. This time, in this last 6 months, we've had as many scooter injuries among kids as we did all of last year.
All right. So in your opinion, do you think riders, especially our youth, should have to wear protections like helmets or, elbow gear and knee gear?
I strongly recommend everybody, young or old, put a helmet on their head. We don't fix brain injury. We try to just stop it from getting worse. And that helmet also gives you a chance to have better visibility. So the helmet and reflective strips are key for all riders. Clip it to your backpack and just bring it with you.
Okay, so now recently Lime introduced those gliders, and do you think there's a difference in injuries between the scooters and the bikes, just because maybe the pedals, non-pedals, or the scooters you can go faster?
Well, I think the gliders may have some stability benefit, but we haven't seen the data for that yet. The critical thing is good visibility and also using the bike path. That means that path has been set aside and improved so that there are fewer issues or bumps there. But most importantly, it also keeps you separated from the vehicles.
Yeah, and so, numbers show 15 to 24-year-olds get injured more than other age groups. So why does this group see higher numbers? Are they just more risky?
It's a combination of things. I think those are a lot of folks who are using scooters. That's one piece of it, just the use of it. But we're seeing more and more younger kids on these scooters who are injured, and they don't know how to drive. Even down into the elementary school age, they don't know which way to look when they enter an intersection, and they shouldn't be on these motorized vehicles. So It's a combination of experience and then just some risk taking.
Okay, so this is a big number. More than 10,000 scooter injuries last year involved driving under the influence, and we know we can't drink and drive, so, riding a scooter while inebriated, not such a good move.
It is not, and that's actually a major issue for all of us in the trauma world. The majority of people coming in with these scooter injuries have some alcohol or drugs on board. So I know people are making those decisions. If that's your choice, then that is where the bus driver is your friend and you hop or you call an Uber, but do not get on a scooter. It leads to bad decision making and ultimately to serious head injuries, horrible facial traumas and dental injuries, and then just the arms and leg fractures that can take months and months to heal.
Yeah, I can imagine. You think getting into your car, well, I'm not going to do that. I've been drinking, but just hopping on a scooter sounds like maybe a better idea, but really it's not. So Seattle is kind of shifting more towards folks kind of biking and walking. What are your biggest concerns with safety on our roads and streets? Drivers have to be more aware, and so do these walkers and bikers.
That's absolutely true. And, I'm glad we have options for people to get out of the cars. It's important. And a scooter can be a big part of that to get you to where you need to go safely. But I think a critical issue is to make sure that you are taking the fundamental safety steps to stay well and get home. And that includes that helmet. We all see that most of the people aren't wearing helmets. And this is an easy thing to do. Bring it with you. The helmet also is the one thing a car sees, on your head. So if you have it, you have that chance to put some lights and reflective strips, and that increases the chance that a car can see you.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe, just maybe if you're going out, maybe think about wearing a jacket or something that has some reflective strips on that. Any other tips you can give us if you're thinking about riding those scooters?
Yeah, 2 other things. One is that there's a nice app now through the city where you can plan your route. It is worth taking a little extra time to take those bike routes where they're available to you. It just is safer for everybody. And then the last thing is really for parents. If you've got kids who are interested to use a scooter, those kids who don't know how to drive really shouldn't be on electric scooters. They cannot manage the speed that those things reach. And second, for all the things we care about, I don't care if you don't eat your peas, but if you don't wear your helmet, then you don't have a bike and you don't have a scooter. And that is really because parents, we care first and foremost that our kids come home to us.
Well, yes, those are all good advice and things to remember for sure. Somehow bring that helmet with you wherever you go if you're thinking about doing that. All right, Dr. Beth Ebel, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for the time.
All right, well, coming up on Good Day Seattle.